My friend, there are things in your heart that no one knows about. Pain you've been carrying silently. Wounds you've been hiding behind a smile. Questions you've been too tired to even ask anymore. But today, God is not ignoring your pain. He sees every tear you never showed. He hears every word you never spoke. And right now, He is inviting you to bring everything to Him. Not tomorrow, not later, right? Now this moment could change everything. If you open your heart, you've been strong for too long. You've been holding everything inside, pretending you're okay when deep down you're not. And it's exhausting, isn't it? Carrying emotions that no one understands, fighting battles no one sees, trying to stay together when everything inside you feels like it's falling apart. But listen carefully. You don't have to carry this alone anymore. God never asked you to handle life by yourself. Is waiting for you to come to Him exactly as you are, with your broken thoughts, with your confusion, with your pain. You don't need perfect words. You don't need a perfect life. You just need a real heart. And when you speak to Him, even in silence, He understands everything you cannot explain. There are nights you couldn't sleep. There are moments when your mind wouldn't stop. There are thoughts that keep repeating, bringing fear, bringing doubt, bringing heaviness into your life. And sometimes it feels like there's no way out. But what if I told you God already has a way? What if I told you He already sees the solution you cannot see? You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. Even when you feel lost, God is still guiding you. Even when you feel weak, God is still strengthening you. Even when everything seems unclear, God is still working behind the scenes for your life. And the moment you bring your problems to Him, you are no longer fighting alone. You don't need to understand everything to trust God. You don't need to see the full picture to believe that He is working. Faith is not about having all the answers. It's about trusting the one who does. And right now, God is asking you to trust Him with your pain. Trust Him with your future. Trust Him with the things that keep you up at night. Because when you give everything to Him, you make space for His peace. And His peace is powerful. Calms your heart. It clears your mind. It gives you strength even when nothing around you changes immediately. But inside, you begin to feel different. You begin to feel lighter. You begin to feel hope again. You may feel like no one truly understands what you are going through. You may feel like your situation is too complicated, too broken, too far gone, but nothing is too hard for God. There is no pain too deep. There is no problem too big. There is no situation beyond His power. He specializes in restoring what feels impossible. He brings light into the darkest places. He makes a way where there seems to be no way. So don't limit Him with your fear. Don't doubt Him because of your situation. Believe that He can do more than you expect, more than you imagine, more than you even think is possible. So right now, take a moment. Stop holding everything inside. Stop pretending you're okay. Stop carrying burdens that are breaking you and bring it all to God. Every worry, every fear, every unanswered question, tell Him everything. Open your heart completely and trust that He is listening. Trust that He cares. Trust that He is already working on your behalf. And even if you don't see it yet, things are beginning to change. This moment, this prayer, this decision to turn to God can lead you into a life you never thought possible. You don't have to keep pretending anymore. You don't have to keep saying, I'm fine, when you're not. You don't have to carry pain that is slowly draining your energy. Every single day, God did not create you to live under constant pressure, constant fear, constant heaviness. Created you to live with peace, with purpose, with direction. And the only way to step into that life is to stop holding everything inside and start bringing everything to Him. When you speak to God, you are not speaking into emptiness. You are speaking to the one who already knows your story from beginning to end. He knows what hurt you. He knows what broke you. He knows what you're struggling with right now, and still, He loves you completely. There are moments when your thoughts become your biggest enemy. You overthink. You replay situations. You imagine the worst. You feel trapped inside your own mind. And the more you try to control everything, the heavier it becomes. But here's the truth. You don't have to control everything. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. That's not your job. That's God's job. Your role is to trust, to release, to surrender. When you give your thoughts to God, You begin to break free from the pressure. You begin to feel a shift inside you, and even if your situation doesn't change immediately, your perspective does, and that changes everything. Sometimes you ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Sometimes you wonder if things will ever get better. Sometimes you feel like you're stuck in a cycle that never ends, but what you don't see is that God is working in places you cannot reach, is aligning things behind the scenes. He is preparing solutions before problems even appear. He is protecting you from things you don't even know about. And even in your waiting, even in your confusion, even in your pain, He is still in control. So don't lose hope. Don't let your situation define your faith, because God's plan for your life is bigger than what you are facing right now. You may feel weak. You may feel tired. You may feel like giving up, but your strength does not come from yourself alone. It comes from God, and when you rely on Him, you receive a strength that is different, a strength that doesn't depend on your situation, a strength that doesn't disappear when things get hard, a strength that keeps you moving forward even when everything inside you wants to stop. So instead of focusing on how weak you feel, focus on how powerful God is. Instead of focusing on your limitations, focus on His ability, and you will begin to see that you are not as helpless as you thought. One day you will look back at this season of your life. You will remember the pain, the confusion, the moments you felt like you couldn't go on, and you will see how God carried you through it all. You will see how He made a way when there was no way. You will understand why things happened the way they did, and you will be thankful that you didn't give up. You will be thankful that you trusted Him even when it was hard. So don't stop now. Don't give up now. You are closer than you think to the breakthrough you've been waiting for, and God is already working to bring it into your life. There are days when you feel like you're losing yourself, like you're trying so hard to hold everything together, but inside, you're falling apart piece by piece. You smile in front of others. You act like everything is okay, but deep down, you're fighting battles no one can see, and the hardest part is, no one really understands what you're going through. But God does. He understands every silent struggle. He understands every hidden tear. He understands the weight you carry every single day. And right now, He is not asking you to be strong. He is asking you to come to Him exactly as you are, broken, tired, confused. Because when you come to God in your weakest moments, that's where His strength begins to work in your life. You've been holding on to things that are slowly hurting you. You've been replaying situations, holding on to pain, holding on to words that broke you, and it's keeping you stuck. It's draining your energy. It's stealing your peace. But today, God is asking you to let it go. Not because it didn't matter, but because He has something better for you. Holding on to pain will never heal you, but giving it to God will. When you release what's hurting you, you make space for healing. You make space for peace. You make space for something new to begin in your life. And that's where transformation starts. Sometimes you feel like your prayers are not being answered, like you're speaking, but nothing is happening, like you're waiting, but nothing is changing. And that waiting can make you feel tired. It can make you question everything, but what you don't see is that God is still working. He is not ignoring you. He is not delaying without a reason. He is preparing something greater than what you are asking for. He is aligning things perfectly. He is making sure that when your answer comes, it comes at the right time. So don't lose faith in the waiting. The waiting is not empty. It is full of purpose. There are moments when fear tries to take control. Fear of the future, fear of failure, fear of losing what you have. And that fear can stop you from moving forward. It can keep you stuck in a place where you don't grow. But God did not give you a spirit of fear. Gave you strength. He gave you courage. He gave you the ability to move forward even when things are uncertain. So don't let fear control your decisions. Don't let fear define your future. Trust God even when it feels uncomfortable, because on the other side of fear is growth. On the other side of fear is breakthrough. Right now you are in a moment that matters more than you realize. This is not just another day. This is not just another message. This is a moment where you can decide to change something in your life. You can decide to keep holding on to everything, or you can decide to give it to God. You can decide to stay stuck, or you can decide to move forward with faith, and that decision will shape your future more than anything else. So choose wisely, choose faith, choose God, and watch how your life begins to change, step by step, day by day, in ways you never thought possible. There are things God has already protected you from that you will never fully understand, paths you almost took that would have led you into pain. Situations that could have broken you completely, but somehow you were redirected, somehow you were delayed, somehow you were saved, and that was not luck. That was God watching over you even when you didn't see it, even when you didn't realize it. His hand was guiding you, His presence was covering you. And today is no different. You are still being protected, you are still being guided, and even the things you don't understand right now are part of His plan to keep you on the right path. Sometimes you feel like you're falling behind, like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck in the same place, but your journey is not the same as theirs. Your timing is not the same as theirs. God is working on your life in a different way. He is preparing you in a way that others cannot see, and just because it's taking longer doesn't mean it's not working. In fact, the deeper the preparation, the greater the result. So don't compare, don't rush, don't lose faith in your process, because what God is building in you is something that will last. There are moments when you feel like you've lost control, like everything is uncertain, like nothing is stable, and that feeling can make you anxious. It can make you feel like you need to fix everything immediately, but here's the truth. You were never in control of everything to begin with, and that's not a bad thing, because God is in control, and when you trust Him, you release the pressure of trying to manage everything on your own. You begin to breathe again. You begin to feel peace again. You begin to understand that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. God is not just working on your situation. He is working on you. He is shaping your mindset. He is strengthening your faith. He is preparing your heart for what is coming next. Because if your heart is not ready, even the biggest blessing can feel overwhelming. This is why your growth matters. This is why your connection with God matters. This is why you must stay close to Him every day, not just when things go wrong, but in every moment. Because the more you grow, the more you become ready for the life God is preparing for you. And one day you will understand everything. One day you will see how every delay, every struggle, every painful moment was shaping you into who you are meant to be. You will see how God was working even when you thought nothing was happening. You will see how every piece of your life came together perfectly, and in that moment, you will realize God never left you, not even once, not even for a second. So hold on to that truth today. Hold on to your faith. Keep moving forward and trust that everything is unfolding exactly the way it should. Right now, there is something inside your heart that you've been avoiding, something you don't want to face, something you don't want to talk about because it hurts, because it feels too heavy, because you don't know how to deal with it. And instead of facing it, you push it deeper. You distract yourself. You pretend it's not there, but it doesn't go away. It just grows stronger. And today, God is gently asking you to bring that to Him, not to hide it, not to ignore, but to release it, because the healing you are searching for begins the moment you stop hiding and start surrendering. There are people who hurt you. There are words that broke you. There are situations that left scars in your life. And even though time has passed, the pain is still there. You carry it quietly. You think about it more than you should. You let it affect how you see yourself and how you see others. But God does not want you to live like that. He does not want your past to control your present. He wants to heal you. He wants to restore you. He wants to give you a peace that is not dependent on what happened before. But for that to happen, you must let Him in. You must trust Him with your pain. You must allow Him to do what you cannot do on your own. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not defined by your lowest moments. God sees you differently. He sees your potential. He sees your purpose. He sees who you are meant to become. And no matter how far you feel from that version of yourself, it is still possible. It is still within reach, but you have to believe that. You have to stop speaking against yourself. You have to stop limiting yourself. And you have to start trusting that God is leading you into something better. There are days when you feel like giving up. Days when everything feels too hard. Days when you question if things will ever change. And in those moments, it's easy to lose hope. It's easy to feel like nothing is working. But those are the moments where your faith matters the most, not when everything is easy, but when everything is difficult, not when you see results, but when you don't. And when you choose to trust God in those moments, you are building a strength that nothing can break. You are developing a faith that will carry you through anything. So right now, make a decision, not a small decision, but a real one. Decide to stop carrying everything alone. Decide to stop hiding your pain. Decide to give everything to God, your fears, your doubts, your struggles, your future, and trust that He will take care of it. Trust that He will guide. You trust that He will lead you in the right direction, because the moment you fully surrender is the moment everything begins to change. From this moment forward, you don't have to live the same way anymore. You don't have to keep repeating the same pain, the same thoughts, the same patterns that have been holding you back. Because when you truly bring everything to God, you begin to step into a different kind of life. A life where you are not controlled by fear. A life where your past no longer defines you. A life where your peace is not dependent on your circumstances. But this change does not happen by accident. It starts with a decision to trust God even when you don't fully understand, a decision to let go of what is hurting you, a decision to believe that something better is possible for your life. There are blessings that God is preparing for you right now, blessings that you cannot see, yet blessings that are bigger than what you are currently expecting. But before those blessings can come into your life, you have to be ready for them. You have to grow. You have to heal. You have to let go of the things that are not meant to go with you into your next season. And sometimes that process is uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels like things are falling apart. But in reality, God is removing what is not right so He can replace it with something better. So don't be afraid of the process. Trust it. Trust Him. You are not stuck. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Even if it feels like nothing is changing, things are moving in ways you cannot see. God is aligning people, opportunities, and moments that will eventually come together in your life. And when that happens, it will make sense. It will be clear. It will be worth it. So don't lose hope just because you don't see immediate results. Some of the greatest things in life take time. Some of the biggest breakthroughs happen after the longest waiting periods. Your mindset matters more than you think. What you believe about yourself, what you believe about your future, what you believe about God, all of it shapes your reality. If you keep telling yourself that nothing will change, you will stay in the same place. But if you begin to trust God, if you begin to believe that He is working in your life, if you begin to speak hope instead of fear, you will start to see things differently. You will start to move differently, and eventually, your life will begin to reflect that change. And as you continue forward, remember this. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't need to know every step. You don't need to control every outcome. All you need to do is stay connected to God, stay close to Him, talk to Him daily, trust Him completely, and step by step, day by day, He will lead you exactly where you need to be. You may not see the full path, but you don't need to. As long as He is leading, you are going in the right direction. There is something changing inside you right now. Even if you don't fully realize it, even if you can't explain it, there is a shift happening in your mindset, in your heart, in your spirit. And that shift is important because before your life changes on the outside, it always changes on the inside first. Way you think begins to change. Way you see things begins to change. The way you respond to situations begins to change. And all of that is God working within you, preparing you for something greater than what you've experienced before. You may not feel strong right now. You may still feel tired. You may still feel uncertain, but strength is not always loud. Sometimes strength is quiet. Sometimes it's simply choosing to keep going. Sometimes it's deciding not to give up even when everything feels heavy, and that kind of strength comes from God. It's not something you create on your own. It's something He gives you when you trust Him, when you rely on Him, when you stop trying to do everything by yourself. There are doors in your life that are about to open, doors you didn't even expect, opportunities you didn't see coming, moments that will change your direction in ways you never imagined. But those doors don't open randomly. They open when the time is right. They open when you are ready. They open when God knows that stepping into that next level will not destroy you. but elevate you. So be patient, be ready, be prepared, because what is coming into your life is worth the wait. You are not the same person you were before. You have grown, you have learned, you have been shaped by everything you've gone through. And even though it didn't feel good at the time, it made you stronger, it made you wiser, it made you more aware. And now, you are in a position to move forward differently, to make better decisions, to trust God more deeply, to walk in a new level of faith that you didn't have before. And that growth is something no one can take away from you. So as you move forward from this moment, carry this truth with you. You are not alone. You are not lost. You are not without direction. God is with you. He is guiding you. He is protecting you. And He is leading you into a life that is better than what you are leaving behind. You may not see it fully yet, but it is coming. And when it arrives, you will understand why everything happened the way it did. So keep trusting, keep believing, keep moving forward, and don't look back. There are moments in your life where everything feels uncertain, where nothing seems stable, where you don't know what the next step is supposed to be. And that feeling can make you anxious. It can make you feel like you are losing control. It can make you question everything you believed in. But what you have to understand is this: just because you don't see the direction doesn't mean there is no direction. Just because you don't understand the path doesn't mean there is no plan. God is not confused about your life. God is not lost about your future. He sees everything clearly from beginning to end. And even in your confusion, even in your uncertainty, He is still leading you exactly where you need to be. So instead of trying to control everything, learn to trust Him more deeply than ever before. You have been carrying emotional weight for so long that it has become normal to you. You've gotten used to feeling tired. You've gotten used to overthinking. You've gotten used to holding things inside. But just because it became normal doesn't mean it's healthy, doesn't mean it's right, and it definitely doesn't mean you have to continue living like that. God does not want you to live under constant pressure. He does not want you to live with a heavy heart every single day. He wants to free you from that burden. He wants to give you peace that doesn't depend on your situation. He wants to give you rest in a world that constantly drains you. And that begins when you stop holding everything inside and start giving everything to Him, completely without holding back. There are answers you have been searching for. There are questions you have been asking. There are things you have been trying to figure out on your own for so long. But sometimes the answer is not something you find by thinking harder. Sometimes the answer is something you receive by trusting deeper. When you bring your problems to God, you are not just asking for solutions. You are aligning yourself with His wisdom. You are opening your life to His direction. And you are allowing Him to guide you in ways you could never guide yourself. And when He leads you, the path may not always be easy, but it will always be right. There is a future ahead of you that you cannot fully see right now. A future that is not limited by your current situation. A future that is not defined by your past mistakes or your present struggles. But that future is not random. It is being shaped by the decisions you make today. It is being influenced by whether you choose fear or faith, whether you choose to hold on or let go, whether you choose to trust God or rely only on yourself. And the more you choose God, the more your future begins to align with His purpose for your life. And that purpose is always greater than anything you could plan on your own. So right now, in this moment, don't ignore what you are feeling. Don't ignore what is happening inside your heart. This is not just another passing thought. This is not just another random feeling. This is an invitation to change, an invitation to release, an invitation to trust God in a deeper way than you ever have before. You can continue living the same way, carrying the same burdens, feeling the same pain. Or you can make a different choice. You can choose to surrender. You can choose to believe. You can choose to give everything to God and allow Him to lead you into something better. And that choice, right now, can change everything. Right now, at this very moment, there is something happening inside your heart that you cannot ignore anymore. It's not just a feeling. It's not just a passing thought. It's something deeper. It's something calling you to change, to release, to trust God in a way you never have before. And even though part of you feels afraid, even though part of you feels uncertain, there is another part of you that knows this is real, that knows something is shifting, that knows you cannot continue living the same way anymore. And that realization is not random. That is God working inside you, leading you towards something better than what you have been holding on to. You have been trying to figure everything out on your own for too long. You have been carrying responsibilities that were never meant to be. Years as you have been overthinking, overanalyzing, trying to control outcomes that are beyond your control, and it has left you tired. It has left you drained. It has left you feeling like no matter how hard you try, it's never enough. But the truth is, you were never meant to do this alone. You were never meant to carry the weight of your entire life by yourself. God is there, waiting for you to give it to Him, waiting for you to trust Him enough to let go. And the moment you do that, you will feel a release you have not felt in a long time. There are things that God is preparing for you right now that you cannot even imagine yet. There are blessings, opportunities, and moments that are being aligned perfectly in your life. But in order for you to step into those things, you have to let go of what is holding you back. You cannot carry old pain into a new season. You cannot hold on to fear and expect to walk in faith. You cannot stay stuck in the past and expect your future to change. So, this is your moment to release. This is your moment to trust. This is your moment to step into something new. You may not see the full picture right now. You may not understand how everything will work out. You may still have questions. You may still have doubts, but you don't need to know everything. You don't need to have every answer. What you need is trust. Trust that God knows what He is doing. Trust that He is leading you in the right direction. Trust that even when things feel uncertain, He is still in control. And when you begin to live with that kind of trust, you begin to experience a peace that does not depend on your situation. There is a peace that comes when you finally stop fighting everything. There is a peace that comes when you stop trying to control every outcome. There is a peace that comes when you truly surrender everything to God, and that peace is powerful. It changes how you think. It changes how you feel. It changes how you live. You begin to move differently. You begin to react differently. You begin to see life from a completely new perspective, and that is the beginning of real transformation. God is not asking you to be perfect. He is not asking you to have everything together. He is asking you to be real. He is asking you to come to Him exactly as you are, with your flaws, with your fears, with your struggles. And when you do that, He does not reject you. He does not push you away. He meets you right there. He begins to heal what is broken. He begins to restore what was lost. He begins to rebuild what you thought could never be fixed. And that is what makes His power so real. There is nothing in your life that is too broken for God to fix. There is no situation that is too far gone. There is no mistake that is too big. There is no pain that is too deep. He is able to restore. He is able to heal. He is able to make a way even when there seems to be no way. And when He moves in ways that go beyond human understanding. So don't limit Him. Don't doubt Him. Believe that He is able to do more than you expect. You have come this far for a reason. You have survived things that should have broken you. You have made it through moments that you thought you wouldn't survive, and that is not by accident. That is because God has been with you every step of the way. Even when you didn't feel it, even when you didn't see it, He was there, and He is still there, and He will continue to be there as you move forward. So right now, make the decision to trust God fully, not partially, not halfway, but completely. Give Him your worries. Give Him your fears. Give Him your future. Give Him everything that has been weighing you down, and trust that He will take care of it. Trust that He will guide you. Trust that He will lead you exactly where you need to be. This is your moment. This is your turning point. This is where everything can begin to change. Not because your situation suddenly becomes perfect, but because you choose to trust God in the middle of it. You choose to surrender. You choose to believe, and when you make that choice, you are no longer walking alone. You are no longer carrying everything by yourself. You are walking with God. You are being guided by Him. You are being protected by Him. And no matter what happens next, no matter what comes your way, you will never be alone again. And that changes everything. Amen.